Nutshell Animations responded. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, I made a video covering one of my friends, Beto999, the other day, who talked about Nutshell Animations being extremely shady, not paying his animators very well, manipulating some of his animators, and genuinely just having a terrible work system. Well, after this 40-minute video from Beto, which nearly has 1 million views now, Nutshell Animations has refused to talk to Beto about the situation in private or on video, pretty much saying that he won't talk to him because he might edit things out and draw a different story. Like, bro, what? That's a really weird way of saying that you don't want to talk to Beto on call because you know you've completely messed up. Well, anyways, Nutshell a few days ago responded in his very own YouTube video called Responding to Nutshell Animations, the most corrupt channel on YouTube. This response by this guy might just be the goofiest thing I've seen in a very long time. Firstly, it's got 1.7k likes and 1k dislikes, so already right off the bat, people don't like this, and most of the comments are pretty negative. Nutshell is also replying to a bunch of these comments, trying to salvage his name, which is pretty sad to watch. So Nutshell in this video tackles a lot of points and has timestamped them. I'm going to be really only covering the main points here in this video, so let's start with the underage animators. Pretty much Beto in his video talked about how Nutshell clearly targets underage animators who don't really know any better and are much more receptive to terrible pay, since they're younger and, you know, are just kind of excited that a huge animation channel has hit them up looking to hire them. Well, Nutshell tackles this first point by first of all saying that it's not illegal to hire minors to animate videos for you. It's like, bro, no one said that it was. No one's sitting there trying to call you out for it because it's illegal. The problem is that it's immoral to pay minors pennies when you know that they're gonna be okay with it. Anyways, he then points out that not all of his animators are minors.
First one right here, we got 30 years old. Okay, next. 24, when we first started, I was 23. Cool. Turned 23 yesterday. Happy belated birthday. Turned 21 on the 17th. I can give you ID proof if you want. Okay, sick. 20, 19, 25, 23, 24. We got 32. We got 47. Alright?
Bro, no one asked for this. No one ever said that all your animators were underage. In Beto's original video, he stated that the majority of your animators are underage and that you clearly target them because you know they're going to be more receptive to lower pay. He never said once that you only have underage animators. That's just a straight up lie. And then Nutshell says in future that he will ask people what age they are before hiring them, which, I mean, doesn't really stop you from manipulating them and paying them pennies because they'll just kind of deal with it, but sure, buddy. Now, anyways, this next point he tries to tackle but does an absolute shocking job at is the payment. Pretty much for those that aren't caught up, the main point of Beto's video was to expose that Nutshell Animations pays around $50 per animation video, and that one person can do some of these animations in a little over an hour and doesn't really put much effort into them, which is nearly the equivalent of $34 an hour, whereas the younger animator, aka Animator 1 in the video, takes around 8 hours to do the animation and gets paid the equivalent of $6 an hour, which is absolutely terrible pay. While Nutshell tries to explain this by explaining that Beto used these two examples in his video as an inconsistent way of Nutshell paying, and then he says, and I'm paraphrasing here, oh, why are you using this isolated example of a guy getting paid $6 an hour? Why is the other guy getting paid more not being taken into account? Like, bro, what? He's literally taking the other guy getting paid more into account in the video. That's why he shows both their pay in the video and compares them, to show that your system of payment is just corrupt and stupid. It rewards people for putting in less effort into your videos. And Beto also explained in the video that the guy getting paid less putting more quality into your videos gets you more average views. You're literally shooting yourself in the foot while also paying lower quality work more money. It doesn't make any sense why you would do it. He then talks about how the numbers Beto showed in his original video showing how much money Nutshell made in you know, the videos that people generated for him is completely false, which, I mean, obviously it was going to be false. Like, it was just an estimate. He estimated that Nutshell was making around 15 cents per 1,000 views on his shorts. Obviously that number wasn't going to be accurate. Like, bro, we don't have access to your dashboard. And then he says this.
I have $50 a clip based on what I can work with to sustain the animations on my channel, right? I wish I was hitting the numbers that Beto showcased in his video. Bro, I wish I was hitting those numbers, man. I was talking to Raif about this, bro. Like, the thing that I would do if I was hitting those numbers would just, I don't know, pay 200, 250, 300 a clip, amp up the quality, or produce even more. I would just do that, bro.
Nutshell, if you're not hitting the numbers you need to pay your animators fairly, then why do you have 20 of them? Why do you have 20 animators working for you if you can't pay them properly? There should be no case in the world where an animator is working on one of your videos for 8 hours and getting paid $50 for that amount of quality. If you're only going to be paying the person $50 per animation, then you should have told him that the quality doesn't need to be that high when you first hired him, and that he should just poop the animations out as fast as he can. He then tries to, for some reason, justify paying these animators pennies by showing a screenshot of an email he got sent once, where an animation studio offered the equivalent of around 14 USD per animation to do all these animations for him from India, saying they're like, oh, you know, 14 USD is really good in India. Like, bro, it doesn't matter if $14 is good in India. You're still paying pennies. Sure, in some other countries, $14 is better than it is in America, but this just goes back to the point of you preying on younger people that don't know any better and just work for less pay because their favorite animator reached out to them. Some random guy from a third world country will also have no idea what good pay is for animations, hence why you can pay them less. Sure, it's not illegal, right? But just because something's legal doesn't make it right.
Hey, quick pause here from Future Nutshell, and since we're talking about payment, I just want to throw up a couple of screenshots from animators that have actually approached me after the expose video that are totally okay with not only the payment, but are willing to do the job. Just further pushing the point out there that yes, there's other people like Rife himself where the wage is worth it and it makes sense to them. So Bido has actually helped me bring more animators on board. I just want to, just thank him for that.
Did you ever stop to think for just 1 second, Nutshell, that maybe these guys that are reaching out to you, saying that this pay is fair, might also be minors and might be okay with the pay for the exact same reason that Animator 1 in Bido's original video were okay with getting paid $6 an hour when he first started? Nutshell, you're in a position of power, bro. I'm not saying that all these people reaching out to you are minors, but some of them probably are. And just because a few people reach out to you after a video talking about your company and the way you run it gets nearly 1 million views, plus my video which got around 100k views and many other people talking about the situation, doesn't mean that your pay is fair in any way. I mean, bro, when I was 14 years old before I got my first job, I was literally getting like $5 a week in allowance from my parents for just doing jobs around my house. If I then got randomly hit up by you, a guy with nearly 10 million subscribers who I looked up to and was an aspiring animator, let's just say, and I hear you want me to make animations for the equivalent of $6 an hour, then of course I'm gonna take you up on that, bro. Who the hell wouldn't in that situation? If you walked up to a homeless person and offered them a place to live, but every morning you force them to eat a live frog, that's preying on someone that's in a vulnerable position to get your way, and of course they're going to accept that. And they're going to take you up on that offer because they don't know any better. Now, another point Nutshell talks about after this is the crediting of animators, which, I mean, really wasn't that big of a point, but pretty much Nutshell says that from now on he will, be crediting animators. His reasoning for not doing it in the first place is that he wanted to be seen as a solo animator, and he didn't want the vibe of his channel to change by changing it to a team of people. Like, bro, that's absolute cope. You know for a fact no one on YouTube, and especially YouTube Shorts, really cares who makes the animations. People just want to be entertained, bro. If your videos are good enough, no one really cares who's doing it or whether there's, 20 people working with you. Stop the cap, bro. You know what you're doing. Pretty much this guy's saying, yeah, I want to be seen as a solo animator, but, I don't want to be a solo animator. That's not how it works, buddy. You can't just do that. But anyways, Nutshell says he will now start crediting his animators from now on, and, he was a little bit naive for not doing it in the first place. So honestly, good for him. I really don't have that much bad to say about it. Now, look, there's much more detail in this original response by Nutshell, and also Bido999's video responding to this response video. We're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves now. But I just want to go over a couple of comments that I saw in the comment section of Nutshell's response, because a lot of people obviously weren't happy with Nutshell animations, because this response, in all honesty, was, pretty terrible. You could pretty much break up every single point that he made here. And I saw this one comment by this guy pretty much saying, I was genuinely going to give this video a chance, then I saw how little effort was put into it for an hour plus upload for a channel with nearly 10 million subscribers, bordering the quality of a podcast, and pretty much just says like, yeah, this is a crap video, whatever. And then this absolute D1 meat writer, Sweet Mobile Co., I've got no idea who this guy is, says you didn't give it a chance because it was barely edited. That says more about you than it does him. He cleared everything up and all you said was womp womp. I mean, bro, he didn't clear everything up. Did you even watch Nutshell's video? He didn't clear anything. He dodged all the points and made up lies about Bido. Like, there is nowhere in this video where he cleared up up all the allegations. The only thing he cleared up was that he was going to be crediting animators from now on. Then Nutshell goes, they don't care for answers. Kid just wants entertainment for his undeveloped attention span. Nutshell, you do realize that your entire audience have an undeveloped attention span, and it's probably because of your videos. Like, bro, the lack of self-awareness is crazy. Your entire audience are full of 9-year-olds who don't have a developed attention span. And you are feeding that attention span. You are feeding, you are feeding attention span problems. You are part of the reason iPad kids exist. Anyways, then another guy replied saying, that's not the only reason, but sure, let's go with that, kiddo. Then Sweet Mobile, the D1 Glazer, comes back. Imagine a kid with no attention span calling a grown man a kid. Can't make this up. Bro, do you actually think you're doing something here? Like, bro, you are defending someone who does not care about your existence. Nutshell is not gonna hire you. Nutshell is not paying you for this, little bro. Anyways, then Nutshell goes, the best part about this is that before his bucket of a comment, he actually thought he did something. Nutshell, why are you wasting your time responding to comments? Why don't you just make an actual proper response video? Like, bro, this is a shocking video. Like, this is a terrible response video. Like, you could have put so much more effort into this, actually responded to the points, but instead you just dodged everything. Now, also another point that I don't want to get too deep into because, it's a little bit too serious for this video. Nutshell accuses Beto of, like, calling him, I guess the P word. I mean, I don't really want to say it in this video, but it's like P3DO. Like, we'll say that. You guys know what I'm talking about. Beto never ever said that in his first video. And I think I mentioned this as well. Like, whenever Beto was talking about, Nutshell targeting smaller animators, I kind of said how that could be, misconstrued into Beto talking about him being, a bad person or a nonce, we'll say. But in no way did Beto even insinuate that in the first place. The only time Beto was talking about or bringing up minors was the fact that Nutshell clearly, tries to manipulate them and is sitting there, paying them pennies because, like, he knows that if a larger animator reaches out to them, that they're going to take up the job offer and they're not going to care if they're getting paid pennies. That was the point Beto was trying to make. He was not at all saying that you're a bad person. He was not trying to say that you're an EDP or a Dr. Disrespect. No one ever said that, Nutshell. I don't know why you decided to bring that up. But anyway, yeah, like I said, check out Beto's original video because it goes into a lot more detail. But yeah, I'm done with Nutshell. Click the video on screen right now because YouTube thinks you'll enjoy it, and I'll see you all over there. Subscribe.